Yo, yo, yo. So, I'm going to be cold calling cleaning companies for a project I've been working on with an automation system. However, I'm not going to start calling them off the bat. So, I'm going to use ChatGPT voice to roleplay what a typical scenario would look like. So, I've given it a prompt where it acts as a business owner, a British business owner, because I'm based in the UK. It doesn't know who I am. It just gets cold call randomly out of the blue. So I start the conversation by saying start call and I end it by saying end call. Now, when I do say end call, it's going to give me a detailed feedback at the end of the conversation based on how I did in the role play. So I'm just trying to test out the water, testing out my script to see how it looks like. So I've got the script up on the left side, you can see over there. So I'm going to run through the script and just flow with the conversation as naturally as possible to see if I am confident enough to run this with an actual person. Hopefully, it goes well. The one major thing I'll say I feel would be a problem for me is I don't know why, but I get a lot of voice cracks when I'm speaking. Maybe it's because of how I'm trying to speak, or maybe changing the pitch, going from different pitches, or like just right so that just have the voice crack right now. I don't know what it is, but I'll try to see if it's something that can be avoided in the conversation, and if it does happen, then it happens in it. So yeah, let's have a go with ChatGPT and let's run this. Start call.
Hello, Bright Home Cleaning Services.
Hi there. I'll be honest with you, this is a cold call. Give me 30 seconds, and if it's not for you, tell me to buzz off, and I'll get out of your way. Fair enough?
All right, I'll give you a moment. What is it you're calling about exactly?
I appreciate it. So my name is Michael, and I help cleaning businesses respond to requests faster, so they never lose a booking due to a late or slow follow-up. So when someone submits a quote on your website, what actually happens next on your end? Like, does it come through to your phone, email, or is it something else?
Yeah, so most of them come in by email. I usually check them a few times a day and we get back pretty quickly. But I mean, I'm quite busy at the moment, so just give me a few seconds on this, yeah?
Yeah. So is it mainly yourself who checks it, who's keeping on top of it, or have you got someone else who helps with the admin side as well?
It's mostly me, to be honest. I have one part timer who handles a few admin tasks, but generally I'm the one keeping it in check. Why do you ask?
Or because I was wondering, if you're out on a job and a request comes in, does it then just wait till you're free, or have you got a way of picking it up on the go?
Yeah, it usually just waits until I'm free. I try to respond as soon as I can, but sometimes it does slip through if I'm out on a job.
So you are saying that some leads slip through, and I'm guessing that also means you are losing money because any lead that slips through is a money that doesn't come in to your business, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the risk, isn't it? We do try to be on top of it, but honestly, I've had so many calls like this before, so I'm a bit skeptical.
All right. You know what? Just to ease your mind, all I would love to do for you is just to show you how it works in practice. So it's just gonna be a 15 minutes screen share. There's nothing to install. I just show you how it works. What my system actually does for you is it helps you to prevent those leads being lost. So it reminds yourself that every single maybe 5 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on what you want to set it as, it tells you that this lead is still pending and you need to go check it out. And also to keep the customer with peace of mind, they also get an email back to them saying, "Oh, we've seen your lead. We're going to respond in so time." And if after an hour or so, it also sends a follow up to them saying, "Oh, we're just trying to process some stuff behind the scenes, and we're going to get back to you in a minute," so you don't feel like they're lost in the motions. How does that sound? Is that going to work for you?
I mean, it sounds like it could help, but I'm still a bit wary. Look, I've already got someone who handles follow ups manually, so I'm not sure I want to change that right now.
I'm not saying it doesn't really change anything in your business. So with this, it's just all about making sure that you don't lose money. Like you said, if you keep losing leads, it could have a detriment to your revenue because if you're losing those leads, you're not getting the money that you should get from that business. And I'm sure that person who's doing it manually is doing an amazing job, but it's just sometimes when they're not in the office, let's say someone's calling and requests at the odd hour of the night or in the evenings, I'm pretty sure they don't work up until then, so they might have a lead loss in those time period. So this automatically just works for you and just helps you to correct that lead loss. Again, if it's not something that you feel comfortable with, that's fine. But I think a 15 minutes demo would just show you how it works in practice. You don't really have to commit to anything, so you can just see for yourself. They can decide on that demo if it is worth your time or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, it's worth a look, I suppose. How about you send me a link to your calendar and I'll see if I can slot a time in later this week?
All right, amazing. I will send an email to you after this call so you can have a look at what time's available for you. I do have some slots available. Would Friday evening work for you? Let's say 5 p.m.
Yeah, Friday at 5 p.m. should be fine. I'll look out for your email and we'll take it from there.
All right, amazing. I'll lock in Friday at 5 p.m. for you and I'll send that email over. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.
Cheers, you too. Thanks for your time. Bye.
Bye. End call.
Overall rating 6 out of 10. You kept a steady pace, but the call lacked a bit of punch and clarity. Opener, it was honest, which is good, but a bit vague. You didn't hook me immediately, so I stayed guarded. Tone and delivery, you kept a natural pace, but you could have been a bit more confident or specific in your examples. Diagnostic questions, you asked relevant questions, but they felt a bit rushed. You could have given me more time to respond fully. Transition to pitch, it was a bit abrupt. You jumped into the features without much lead in. It was too long and detail heavy. I didn't fully connect it to my real concerns. The close, it was low pressure, which is fine, but it didn't create urgency or excitement. Objection handling, you kept it calm, which was good, but you didn't push back strongly or ask enough to re engage me. Talk to listen ratio, pretty balanced, but you spoke slightly more than I did. Watch that. Filler words, a few ums here and there, not too bad, but reduce them. What worked well, you were transparent about it being a cold call, and you offered a demo, which kept the door open. Top three things to improve. First, refine your opener so it's more specific. Second, slow down and let the prospect fully respond. Keep the pitch more concise and directly tied to their pain points.
Okay, so that was that. Um, 6 out of 10 is pretty low. I think I'd like to be in the 8 to 9 range, maybe 10, but you can obviously be perfect. So let's keep it 8 to 9. And yeah, it did give some detailed feedback. So it mentioned about my pitch being too long, which to be honest, I felt was a bit too long myself. The opener, it said was honest and which is good, but it was a bit vague, so I didn't really hook them immediately. So, what could I do to make that better? I suppose. Um, what I could do is so since I say appreciate it, my name's Michael. I help cleaning businesses respond to requests faster, so never lose a booking. Blah blah blah. Uh, what could I say to make that sound better? Maybe just say I have or I build a system that helps cleaning businesses to requests or to respond faster to requests so they don't ever lose a booking due to them being unavailable. That could have been a better way to word it. And like I said, I was kind of talking a bit too much and I felt it felt a bit rushed. So maybe I need to slow down with my pacing so it doesn't feel like I'm rushing them or, trying to force them into doing something that they don't want to. So yeah, that was that role play. Let's try one more and see if I've actually learned anything from that. So let's give it one more go. Start call.
Hello, Bright Home Cleaning Services.
Hi there. I'll be honest with you, this is a cold call. Give me 30 seconds, and if it's not for you, tell me to buzz off, and I'll get out of your way. Fair enough?
All right, I've got a moment. What is it you're calling about exactly?
I appreciate that. So, my name is Michael, and I have a system that helps cleaning businesses to respond to requests faster so that they never lose a booking due to a late or slow follow up. When someone submits a quote on your website, what actually happens next on your end? Like, does it come through to your phone, your email, or something else?
Yeah, so it mostly comes through by email. I check them a few times a day and we get back pretty quickly, but it's usually just me who handles that.
Oh, it's just you. So, if you are on the job when the request comes in, does it then wait until you're free, or have you got some other way to pick it up?
Yeah, it just waits, to be honest. If I'm out, it just sits until I can get back to it. So sometimes it does take a bit longer.
That's interesting. So, has that ever meant losing a job? Do you think like someone just went elsewhere because they didn't hear back quick enough, or has that never happened?
Yeah, it has happened a few times actually. I mean, we try to keep up, but a couple of jobs I'm sure we missed because of a delay. That's part of why I'm a bit cautious about these calls.
So, I'm pretty sure that if you had some kind of system that helped you to maybe send reminders about any calls that's come in or requests that's come in so that you can check them later after a call, or if it just notifies the lead that okay, we've seen your request and we'll reply shortly so they don't feel like they're just lost behind the scenes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that does make sense. If it was automated, at least the customer would know they haven't been forgotten. I suppose a short demo might help me see if it fits with my process.
Well, lucky for you, with my system, we do help you with notifying the client or the lead that they have a request put in and we have seen it, we'll come back to them. And it also notifies yourself, so it reminds you that you have a lead that needs to be called or followed up. So we can book in a 15-minute screen share demo just to show you how it works from your point of view and the customer's point of view. And then again, this is no commitment. So if you just hop on the demo with me, I can show you how it works. And if you don't like it, if you're not interested, you can just let me know and then we can just call it quits from there. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds fair. I mean, I've had a lot of calls like this before, but I am willing to see how it looks in practice. If you send me a calendar link, I'll pick a slot, maybe Friday evening again.
Yeah, Friday evening's amazing. We can do that. So Friday at 5 p.m. How's that sound for you? Is that busy or is that enough?
Yeah, that works for me. Friday at 5 p.m. is good. I'll look out for the email with the link and we'll go from there.
All right, amazing. You have an amazing rest every day.
You too. Take care and I'll speak to you on Friday. Bye.
Bye. End call.
Overall rating 7 out of 10. This call was more structured and he kept a steady pace, but there's still room for refinement. Opener, it was clear and upfront, which was good, but it still didn't fully disarm me. Tone and delivery, natural pacing, a bit more confidence this time, and you kept a good balance of talking and listening. Diagnostic questions, better this time. You asked relevant questions that you still could have probed a bit more deeply. Transition to pitch, slightly smoother. You tied the benefit more clearly to their problem. The pitch, still a bit long, so it started to lose focus, but you did better connecting to their concern. The close, it was low pressure, which kept things open, and you gave a clear next step. Objection handling, you stayed calm and logical, but you didn't push back aggressively enough on the skepticism. Talk to listen ratio, better balance this time. You gave me more space. Filler words, a few ums again, but less noticeable. What worked well, you acknowledged their past experiences with calls and you offered a clear no commitment demo. Top 3 things to improve. First, tighten the pitch so it stays laser focused. Ask a stronger follow up question after the objection, really dig into their hesitation. Give a slightly more confident close so it feels more like a next step they'll want to take.
Okay, so for the opener, what would you advise me I say to make sure I disarm you if you're a business owner?
I'd keep it specific to their business pain. For example, you might say, "Hi, I know you're really busy and I won't take long. I work with cleaning companies like yours to make sure no lead ever slips through the cracks. Would it be okay if I ask how you currently handle follow ups?" That way, you show you understand the situation and you ask a natural follow up.
Hmm, that could work. In terms of the pitch, how could I make that shorter to make sure that it's more concise for them and I don't lose them while speaking?
Focus on just one or two key benefits tied directly to their problem. For instance, say, "Our system automatically notifies you and the client the moment a request comes in, so you never lose a booking. In just 15 minutes, I can show you exactly how it works." Keep it to one or two concrete actions and then pause to let them react.
Okay, well, so that's at least I improved from 6 to 7. So that shows that I've actually gotten better. So what I'd like to do now is to have one more role play. However, let me just revise the scripts just to ensure that I am making things a bit more concise.